A very good afternoon to you and welcome to the 1 p.m. news right here on Younib TV. My name is Joseph Kamau and I am honored to be bringing you the latest news update from around the country. From the heart of the newsroom to wherever you are watching us from, we are committed to keeping you informed with accurate, timely, and meaningful stories that matter to you and only you, our dear viewers. But first, let's have a close look at the highlights.
Of that constitution, and I will make sure that I will defend the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya.
Bare minimum demand is a public statement from the Board of Management of the Alliance Girls High School.
Mvua mingi sana kuanzia jana mpaka leo asubuhi that has caused one of the pit latrines at Queens of Angel kuweza kukola.
Welcome. Now, regarding the recent protests, President William Ruto has reaffirmed his firm stance, claiming that he is obligated by the Constitution to defend lives and livelihoods. According to the president, some of the distractors do not yet accept that he has assumed the role of president.
That a demonstration or protest ends up in death, in rape, in destruction of property, in destruction of business. And is that really what we want to do as a nation? I dare say no. And for now, I am the custodian of that constitution, and I will make sure that I will defend the Constitution of the Republic of Kenya. Tuko pamoja, my friends? Yes. Until somebody else takes over, I am here, and I will make sure that hii mchezo tunawachana naye. Watu walikuwa na matatizo sana. Hata saa hizi bado hawajaamini mimi ni rais, bado wanahangaika Mimi ndiye niko hapa kwa sasa. Wajipange. Mimi ndiye niko hapa. Many people were asking me, what the hell about houses? What is this about houses? Who doesn't have a house? We had all manner of debates around housing. Let me tell you, it wasn't so much about the jobs. It wasn't so much about the houses. It was so much about the jobs. Because of the housing program, for which I have paid a very high political price, there are 320,000 people, young people, working.
The idea of coming to Maandamano and saying we want to invade police station, we want parliament, we want to ban judiciary, and therefore we want to invade State House. That is not protest. That is not issues of grievances of governance. That is actually madness that we must not accept in our country.
Now, still on protesters and protests, Belgut Member of Parliament Nelson Koech demanded that violent demonstrators who damage property and target protected places should be shot and killed. Koech, who also chairs the National Assembly's Defense, Intelligence and Foreign Affairs and Foreign Relations Committee, claims that President William Ruto's shoot in the leg order is insufficient and that the Constitution permits police to use weapons to protect people and property.
We will arrest everyone. Na mimi nataka niseme na nishukuru Rais William Samoei Ruto
Wakati jana umesema shoot but do not kill. I want to repeat it here. In fact, shoot and kill. You cannot have someone who is going to terrorize you and your family, and you are telling me you cannot shoot and kill. You cannot have someone who is coming after your businesses armed and with weapons, and you want to tell me that you cannot use shoot and kill. The Constitution, the Police Act, has given the police the powers to use their arms where they have evaluated the risk of their lives is in danger. Anyone who wants to go to a protected area like State House is not an ordinary person. That is a criminal. That is an armed person that must be dealt with equal force. And the only force that applies to such people is to shoot and kill. If you think that the government is sending goons and assassins to attack people's property and investments, why do you have a problem when the government then goes after the people they have sent, as you claim? Wachera, we will arrest everyone, and I can tell you they are terrorists, and they are going to be charged as either facilitating terrorism or they are terrorists themselves. Yule mama ambaye alichomewa biashara yake ya county supermarket alifanya makosa gani? Opuzi yenu mnatuambia sijui one time ya nani? Nani alikuambia sisi ndio tutakaa one time? Kibaki hakukaa one time, Uhuru hakukaa one time. Sisi umeona wakati imetufikia ndio sisi ni washezi tukae one time. Tunapiga mbili fululizo. Ati wanatupangia na sisi tumekaa hivi. Kama ni kupanga, wasifikirie hatuwezi kupanga. Ni vile tunapenda amani na wachunge hii amani sana.
Now, the police officer who reportedly shot a mask vendor during the June 25th, 2025 protest, Lindsay Baraza, has been charged with murder by the Directorate of Public Prosecution, or DPP. Baraza is charged with shooting Boniface Kariuki in the head during the demonstrations on June 17th. He was taken to Kenyatta National Hospital where he passed away from his wounds. Kariuki will be laid to rest today at his home in Kangema, Murang'a County.
That information, Your Honor, has since been filed in the High Court, and it is now HCCR stroke E010 stroke 2025. We have availed a copy to the court, and the matter will be mentioned tomorrow before the presiding judge of the High Court, the Honorable Justice Kimoni.
Following the information by the DPP, so the second respondent hearing will be set at liberty unless otherwise lawfully held. Furthermore, the first respondent will be remanded awaiting his arraignment before the High Court to face the murder charges that have been preferred by the DPP.
Well, may justice be served. Now, to a sad story, a teacher at Alliance Girls has been ordered to be arrested and charged with sexual harassment by Julius Bitok, the principal secretary in the Ministry of Education. This followed protests by irate former students outside the school's entrance, calling for his quick removal in addition to his arrest.
Explicitly calling for comprehensive and impartial investigation into his professional conduct. 2, that be immediately suspended from all his duties, including teaching.
Second bare minimum demand is a public statement from the Board of Management of the Alliance Girls High School explaining to us what process they're taking.
One of the persons that needed really to be interviewed was the teacher also. But unfortunately, the teacher has not been here. So you allow us to let the investigating team finish its work.
And that teacher is going to be punished, is going to be interdicted. We have talked to TSC and all the other stakeholders to ensure that he's arrested. And it's not only Alliance, any other school in this country.
Well, we are going to take a short break. We will be back with more news stories. Welcome back. Thank you for keeping it Younib TV. Now, at Queen of Angels Tabor School in Uasin Gishu County, a pit toilet collapsed and sank, killing 3 pupils on the spot. The incident led to the closure of the school after a couple most people were hurt at Tabor Girls High School. After being called to the scene, police and rescuers battled to remove the students who had gone to relieve themselves when the latrine fell.
Kumekuwa na mvua mingi sana kuanzia jana mpaka leo asubuhi that has caused one of the pit latrines at Queens of Angel kuweza kucollapse. Na hiyo wakati choo imeanguka, kuna watoto 3 waliweza kuanguka ndani ya hiyo choo. Tumeweza kuretrieve wale watoto tukapeleka Tabor Hospital.
Kamili choo hiyo haikuwa imeweza kuonesha dalili zote, imekuwa sawa kabisa. Hakukuwa na ishara ya kuharibika. Nafikiri ni hali ya mvua ambayo imenyesha usiku wote na hakukuonekana ishara yote vile ambapo tumeelezewa.
Ile jambo ambayo tungeomba ni kwa Wizara ya Elimu kuhakikisha kwamba vyoo vyote vya shule vinaweza kujengwa kwa njia ambayo inatakikana, kwa sababu ukiangalia hiyo choo vile imejengwa inaonekana kwamba imechukua muda na haikuwekwa chuma kupita iende mpaka kando. Hizo chuma zilikuwa zinaishia kwa shimo yenyewe, hiyo slab. So tunaomba Wizara ya Elimu waweze kuangalia vyoo vyote ambavyo vimejengwa kama zinafikia kiwango ambayo inatakikana.
Well, a truly sad story. Now, in matters held, increased funding for cancer treatment in the nation is being demanded by health stakeholders. Participant in the field led by Fubi Ogandi, who is the executive director of the Kenyan Network of Cancer Organizations, issued a warning about the disease increasing prevalence, which they claim is putting the nation at risk of public health emergency. The clarion call was delivered during a media appearance prior to the 2nd National Cancer Summit, which is scheduled for July 27th to 30th.
In our farms, in our communities, we need to have very dedicated strategies to make sure all the chemicals that have been identified to have carcinogenic effects should be banned.
Take screening, early detection, prevention, diagnostics, treatment, palliative care, and survivorship to the next level.
Are there equipment that they need? Is there infrastructure? So we need the concerted efforts, not just from the National Cancer Institute and the Ministry of Health, but the county governments should also move in, because health is devolved. The Social Health Authority and the Social Health Insurance Fund, on paper, it is magnificent. In fact, on paper, it is supposed to cover the whole continuum of cancer care, right from diagnosis to treatment. So we are still urging the government and urging the ministry to please go back to that paper, what is enshrined in the Social Health Authority, and ensure that it is actually what we are seeing on the ground.
Are we best in stigmatizing? Because basically, I'm known by some of you here as Mama wa Matiti Moja, and for me to take that name, it was not easy. Can you imagine, as you walk around in your area and people are saying that, ule mama ni mama wa matiti moja, hey, tunamkamtia masiku, and then they start. By the time you're everybody, all the eyes are in you.
We have to engage our patients as active partners, and we have to manage them in the entire healthcare continuum, whether it comes to primary prevention, secondary prevention, or early diagnosis. When it comes to the aspects of diagnostics, when it comes to treatment, and also survivorship, palliative care, and end-of-life care. We have to involve our patients.
Well, now to matter sport, now with the goal of competing for the championship rather than just competing in the upcoming African Nations Championship CHAN, the Harambee Stars, the national men's football team, are poised to make a big impression. In anticipation of the competition, the team, which was relieved at Kasarani Stadium on Thursday, has started a residential training camp.
Remember, you carry the dreams of more than 50 million Kenyans. When you wear the jersey, wear it with pride, purpose, and patriotism. It is not just fabric. It is the heartbeat of a nation stitched with resilience, unity, and belief. Representing your country on home soil is a rare privilege. Seize it with everything you've got. When you fight, we stand with you. You are not alone. You have a nation behind you.
You can't please everyone, you know. And I'm not here to please people. I'm here to bring success to this country. And the players that we've selected is the players that we've seen, the players that I've had in camp. And they were just unfortunate when you go and play World Cup qualifiers, international players come, so you can't select everyone. So now it's based on local camp. So those are the players that you've seen, and you see the qualities and where they can take the team. When you play top class opposition that we have, that is fundamental for us, you know, because it's good preparation, and it happens to be just right before the chance starts, so it will give our players also a good indication of where the levels that we are and what we can still build on for the small period while we have for CHAN, so that we can be ready to go and fight and hopefully win the CHAN.
Mine is to give Kenyans the assurance that we are not going to take this thing for granted. The team is going into camp today, and I can assure you we have done everything in our power to give them all the tools that they require to succeed. To the technical bench, we have had several discussions on what we need to do to improve their situation, and all those matters that had been raised in the past, historical issues, are now behind us. We are now moving in the right direction.
Well, all the best to Team Harambee Stars. Now that brings us to the end of our 1 p.m. news bulletin here at Younib TV. Thank you for choosing to stay with us. My name is Joseph Kamau, and it's always been a pleasure to keep you updated. For more news update, be sure to follow us on our social media platforms or visit our website www.younibtv.com. Until next time, take care of yourself and each other. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon.